And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Nobody's back. It's just us. Welcome back, us.
Hello, us.
We have been joined by the wonderful Jim Majors that is still alive, thank fuck, and we all know he's here. And
yeah, you can't get rid of me.
No, as much as we try. And we've got RCA directly below me. So
hello.
One Way is back. Hello, One Way. The link's there, One Way. You're welcome to join. The link's in the pigsty general chit chat.
What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, One Way. The link is there if you want to join in. You're always good. We could start the debate now. Cisco or Picard? So, Jim, what have you been doing? Where were you? You were AOL. Your Twitter got hacked.
I haven't had AOL in a while. Where was I when?
Your Twitter got hacked. We were worried about you.
Yes. So my Twitter got hacked. It appears that somebody had hacked my Twitter, gained access to it somehow, changed my password. When I went to go and try to retrieve my account and to, change my password, the recovery phone number that was attached to it was not one that I recognized, and it only shows you the last 4 digits. And I also had an email that was linked to the Twitter account, but the email as well has been removed, so I have no way of recovering it. I've sent a couple of complaints and filed a report with Twitter support, so hopefully I can get my account back. But until then, you're just going to have to follow me at Jim's Stash, STACHE. I'll probably end up changing that because that's kind of dumb. But
it took me 2 spellings to fucking find you bastard.
I can't believe your Twitter. How could Twitter allow that? I thought they had good security protocol.
Yeah, they do. I guess they must have. I don't know how they figured out my password, but somebody got access to my Twitter, and I don't. That's the thing that I don't know how. And as far as the phone number goes, I've been through my contact list. Can't figure out whose phone number it is because it only gives me the last 4 digits, so I can't even figure out an area code.
Wow, that's scary, man. Because I have my own Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no personal financial information. I'm not worried about any messages or anything like that. I just want my account back. I had over 1,000 followers, and that alone, it gives me some incentive to want it back.
Yeah.
Well, you've been tagged a couple of times under your old one with the new one to let people know when I retweeted it out and stuff like that. So hopefully, since your old account has been tagged in it and the new account has been tagged in it, you can maybe, I don't know how Twitter works. Do a link.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I appreciate that. I'm hoping that people following under my old account will be able to see it since it was tagged.
Yeah, Angie's stream was on the day, and they mentioned that you'd done a new account, so I jumped in and was like, "What the fuck, is he alive? We're trying to get hold of him." So that started the Twitter thing.
Yeah, I apologize for anybody who's been trying to get a hold of me via Twitter. I am okay. I've been okay. My health is fine. I'm not going to die anytime soon, and so yeah.
I think it was just
nice. That's good news.
It was so soon after.
I think so.
It was so soon after the last thing that we worried, But I also posted it in your Discord as well, so anyone in your Discord, it's in the general.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh no, we've you shield, man. Don't you worry. Doing the admin job.
Thank you. I'm following. I'm neglecting my people on Discord. And I apologize for that.
Everybody just come to mine. Jim's is boring. Come to mine. People talk all the time. We're all great fun in there. I'll send you a link, Praise, if you're welcome to it. One of the rules is, though, no preaching. It is a rule. It's just there to have the crack.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
One Way pushes
or in other words, don't. I mean, I'm not going to say no preaching. Just don't preach unless you are prepared for responses. that's my only caveat is
Well, as it gets bigger, I probably will.
Me, Praise. I'm all up for a debate.
Yeah.
And if you've seen me on Twitter, then you know that nothing aggravates me more than somebody who starts something and then doesn't finish it.
Yeah, I gotcha. Especially, I mean, I don't want to talk down anyone, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
No. Well, eventually, I think we've been officially God rated. I've popped my cherry. Thanks God for turning up. Thank you very much. This is the first time I've ever been rated by God.
Shout out to God.
Yeah. Man does a lot of good work. It's good coffee he gets from McDonald's. Thanks, Mackie. Sarcasm, Weapon X, Traveling Shinist, another Ginger, Exploring Ginger, Tams, and there's Emma and God. Eventually, hey, yeah, you're no good at this game, God. You're very slow. Thanks for turning up. What? You just have to acknowledge them, and then they'll eventually go away. Don't worry. If you're finished later, God, you're welcome on the after party. We'll probably keep going. Blackwing, my love, you're welcome on the after party as well. God's got the link if you want to tweet him. Oh, look.
Well, remember, we don't have a whole lot of time with praise. Do we
right.
want to?
Well, just to say, RCA did have a mention with me earlier about some questions that he had for praise. Because praise, you do the genetics thing, you know. The talking about genetics and the homozygosity and all that.
Yeah.
And RCA, is, if not a scholar in evolution, probably definitely not, knows a wee bit about it and had a few questions for it. Would you be up for that?
Absolutely.
RCA, the floor is yours. Thank you, Blackwing, for the subscription.
Really, I just only have one question to ask you. Do you know what the nictitating membrane is in the eye?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
No, it's like in the corner of your eye where you have that pink, where your tears come out, where the duct is. Well, behind there's a little bit of membrane. And that's essentially our second eye. So I just want to see what your response to that is. So what the purpose of it is back when we were climbing in trees and stuff, that was used to kind of keep us from getting eye injuries in trees and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's very interesting. I have to look into it. I actually have not really researched that. So, yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up, though, because I like learning new stuff. So,
yeah, I just wanted to see if you had a response for it, if you knew what it was, or if you had looked into it or not.
yeah, it's actually one of the things I've never heard of. So, I mean, it's something I'm going to definitely investigate, though.
Yeah, I find it one of the more interesting pieces of, because it's essentially useless on us now, right? Like it's lost its function because we don't use it. So.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll have to look into that. Maybe if you want to, how do you know how I can get in contact with you? Maybe email, or I can let you see what I found on that.
Yeah, that's cool. We can talk in the back room after, and I can give you my email and stuff.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
something pretty similar to that I learned that was really interesting that I think makes a great case against creationism is the mantis shrimp. I learned the other day that it has the mantis shrimp eye has 12 different color receptors, and humans and most other animals only have 3 to see the color spectrum. So in humans and other animals that have 3 color receptors, we see each of the 3 receptors gets what would you call it? It gets activated by a different hue, so like red, green, or blue. But the mantis shrimp can see a massive larger color spectrum than we can. They can detect light from 300 to 720 nanometers, which it starts in almost infrared, and it goes across our entire visible spectrum all the way through ultraviolet, and it tapers off in ultraviolet. So they can see far more of the radio or the color spectrum than we can, and they can even see radio waves.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's really amazing.
People would say
so. Just the fact that they can see different colors that we can't is pretty amazing, I think.
That's why.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how a hawk works when it's hunting prey, if I do believe. It sees in the ultraviolet spectrum, and it sees the piss of an animal, it stands out in it. It sees in ultraviolet. So when you have the eyes of a hawk, people think that it sees really well. It's just because it's like a neon light standing out to it in a field of grey,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could be completely wrong, but yeah, I'm going to go with that. It's on screen. We're going with it. Hi, Lucy. Hi, everybody, for turning up. Thanks for turning up for our boring stream. Lucy calls our streams boring. Who cares about your stream? I think everybody cares about it. I don't understand. I think everybody understands. You just don't get it. So thanks, everybody. Yeah, we're getting loads more people coming in. They're all coming up. Who have we got in? Tony, what took you so long? And we're not talking about carrots, nerdy. I don't know what that card thing is that's going about the YouTube. We're not going to talk about that. So yeah, we're having an after party for I was going to say RCA there for Praise, and yeah, Praise. Have you any questions for RCA or Jim? I don't want you to feel like, because it seems like there's 3 of us and 2 of them just asked you big questions, so to speak. I don't want you to feel.
I love being challenged. I'm gonna, I'd probably respond back to Jim maybe that I think God gave us sufficient for our purposes. I think. For whatever I think that shrimp, its purpose was meant to, that's how I'd address that. But yeah, these are interesting questions, and I appreciate those.
Yeah, for sure.
As a funny side note, just watching Simon and Dan take on Kent Hovind. What's your thoughts on Kent Hovind, Praise? Yes or no?
I can see how he could be construed as like an extremist type of fundamentalist guy. I like his moral arguments. Not necessarily his hermeneutical viewpoints. I think that they're pretty. You would have to go out of your way to say that there's 6 literal days and all this other stuff. So of course, I object to his hermeneutics regarding that. But as far as science goes, and maybe the 6,000 year Earth thing's a little extreme. But as far as evolution, I align with him with that. So I'm sure you guys disagree with that, but but that's just the way it goes. So
the reason I mentioned is to say you have a wee bit of a background in genetics and know a wee bit of all them big words that we don't know about. Maybe RCA knows a few of them, but the pack. If I get this right now, Simon Dan. I'm quoting Simon Dan. Okay, so you can judge me judge me. But he was doing this back and forth with Kent Hovind, and Kent Hovind brought up about the octopus eye. And brought up about the human eye, and our eyes are very similar. The reason being, well, not completely the reason being, they both evolved separately, but it was a difference in the PAC6 gene that had been changed. It happened in both evolutionary lines, but separately. So that's a reason that our eyes are very similar. So the PAC6 gene. Oh, Praise, are you ready to... Hello, God.
Hey,
how you doing, mate?
Praise,
nice,
meet
is
God.
that your Halloween mask, or is that your general mask you wear?
This is my face.
That's his face, man. But if you watch him long enough, and
well, I guess I'm dead.
There is screenshots.
Nobody's looked into the face of God and survived. So peace, y'all.
There's a lot of people who think God looks like a big bearded old man. But when you've got the
that's just his glory. That's just what his glory looks like.
Yeah, but when you've got the power of me, as if I'm going to look like a bearded old man, I'm going to make myself look cool like this. Could do all.
What's cooler than a bearded old man?
Well, you have a good mustache.
Anything.
Jim does have a very good mustache.
I agree to disagree.
Oh, give over.
We're all ginger beards here. I don't know about Praise, but his picture is nearly ginger. So yeah, it's 3 against 2.
Nice.
We will make you an honorary ginger for tonight. Thank you for the
So
did
you have... No worries. Did you have a good show?
Yeah, I think it went well. Me and Praise had good banter. We if you know what banter is, with good crack, with good banter, it went down really well. No pressure, no nothing. And I think we both formally disagree on nearly everything. So that's good. Well, not
best
everything.
way, innit?
It really is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the conversation. It's good to have people that disagree that can get along. I think that's wonderful.
I think it's essential.
It is. Yeah. It's important that people disagree, else we'd all be the same.
Well, I don't mean that it's essential that we disagree. I mean that it's essential that if people do disagree, that they can do it in an amicable fashion. Because I think that if we are to discern any sort of truth on things that we disagree with, we have to first come together.
Absolutely.
Nobody's going to hang up. Sorry, go on ahead, God. You get preference.
Sorry, I was just saying that I think both. I think it's important that we disagree, and it's important that you get on if you disagree, because if you can't do them 2 simple things, it would be a boring planet, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
That's the whole idea of the first one. The first show, me and Praise get to know each other. Everybody gets to know a wee bit more about me and a wee bit about him. and then the after party we all gang up on him. You know?
Well, I didn't get that memo.
No, I didn't send you that. No.
The weird thing about Praise, though, he's the quiet guy sitting in the corner while his friends are going around messing shit up, and he's sitting there going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
There's an
man.
awful lot of louder people, like, you know.
Then I can only imagine like these after meetings with Praise, and Praise is like, I'm ashamed of every single one of you. Like, what the heck?
Especially like Trinitarians, like it's such a whack belief, you know. And I understand, like Jim's is going to whoop some ass, and I mean, I already knew that was going to happen. It was pretty ridiculous.
I've been banned from a Christian guy's channel that I was trying to get on at the start because nobody knew him, and you know, there's no real pressure or anything like that. I had spent like fucking 6 months talking to this crazy man who's in a cult. All right, he's definitely in a cult, and I may or may not have him on video doing things in a tent with his nose and some powder that he shouldn't be doing, and he fucking, but he wouldn't come on because he thought I was going to make fun of him. And I'm like, no, man, that's
yeah.
He's banned me from his fucking thing now. But the point to bring it up when you mention Trinitarianism is because he didn't know. I was like, oh, sure, you're a Trinitarian? And he was like, I don't know, am I? I was like, yeah.
It's basically ad hoc interpretation of God, how the nature is, and I mean he's an infinite being. I just don't see how anyone could really lock it down exactly how his nature is, but it definitely Trinitarian views.
Yep.
Is so many holes in it. It's ridiculous.
Well, there's a hole in trying to understand God's mind from the beginning, because you know from the get-go, you know, Christians, especially Trinitarians, will say that that God's mind is inconceivable. That we can't. There's no way that we can that we can. You know, make sense of God's mind. But if that's true, then how can we come to a human understanding using our human brain about something that is inconceivable? It seems like it's not possible, and people are claiming that they know God's nature or know the nature of a God that is indiscernible.
Yeah, I think.
Just ask you, what your opinion then of the Trinitarian? Because over here, that's a given. You know, you don't need to ask people over here with the Catholic and Protestant religion. That is just a given. And
but it's like Praise said, Trinitarianism is based on ad hoc arguments. These aren't things that Jesus said. These aren't things that the New Testament said.
The man on the street does not go into that.
Yeah, and I think that the doctrine of the Holy Trinity is one of the best cases against the reliability of church tradition. I think it shows that even early in Christianity, you had people committing heresies that won out by popular vote that people still believe in today. That had Jesus been who he said he was, then he would be extremely ashamed of every Trinitarian today.
Great point. Yeah, and I think there's actually evidence that there was they were basically what's the word there? It's another for oneness. It's the other one. I forget. Gosh, I always get these words like switched up in my brain. Modalist. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think there's pretty good evidence that the beginning church was modalist.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and modalists were operating off of things like verses like what is it? Another one in Mark, Luke 18:19. It says, you know, why do you call me good? You know, that nobody is good but God.
Right. And then also Jesus breathed the Spirit.
Remember that quote now, God. You remember that. You remember that fucking phrase now. If anyone gives you any shit, you've actually got a Bible reference that references God, the good one.
Well, yeah, I know Luke 18:19 and there's Mark 10:18. They both say essentially the same thing.
I remember that because I told him to write that in my book when it was ghostwriting for me. So put that in book. Remind people that.
Sorry, Praise. Go on ahead because I know we've only got you now for about an hour 20 minutes. That's why we're going to give Praise some preference because he's short in time. I think he has to go to work or do something or whatever.
Yeah, I got to head out to the store a little bit and then pick my sister up. But yeah, you know, Jesus breathed the Spirit on. I forget the guy's name, but he didn't breathe another person on someone. The Spirit is Himself. That He is the Spirit. So I think the Trinitarian perspective is ridiculous, and I think it should be eliminated out of the conversation eventually. I mean, that's just the way I look at it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Are you're talking about in John, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one.
and see, like stuff like that isn't in the other gospels. It's strange. But even in that reference, I believe that it says that that Jesus still says that the Father sent me, and
Right.
Trinitarianism, the Father is one person of the Godhead. So how can one person of the Godhead send another person of the Godhead?
Exactly. I mean, the way I look at it is just existential. It's more ontological differences.
Mm-hmm.
I think that,
Right.
God took on a whole new existence, but he's still the same person, but he has a human existence. So he's simultaneously both at the same time. That's the way I perceive it.
Yeah, and Jesus, praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, saying, you alone have the power to take this cup from me. He's not praying to God; he's praying to the Father.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you have to concede that the Father has more power than Jesus, because if this is something that Jesus willed, that this cup be taken away from him, then the Father's will would have nothing to do with it in Trinitarianism.
Yeah, a good point. And I mean, that's actually a challenge for oneness too, because how do we ground the divinity there? But I think the way I would address it is, he had a human consciousness, he had a human will, human spirit. So in his humanity, in his mode as a human, he was less than the Father in that capacity.
Yeah, but that's you're kind of stepping in modalism, or like Sabellianism there.
Oh no! This is the after party. No big words allowed. No big words allowed.
Well, I can't think of a smaller word for Sabellianism.
I'm just saying, right? I'm just bringing this up now. If Jim continues the conversation and it goes down the line where Praise ends up saying homozygosity at the fucking end of it, I'm gonna kill him.
Homozygosity.
Oh man,
we're gonna have to make that like a tag. Can I get like a soundbite when someone subscribes to my channel now? That's what it's gonna say.
All right, so in the 3rd century, you got this guy named Sabellius. He was a priest, and he didn't come up with the idea, but he presented the idea to combat what would become the Athanasian Creed. He did not believe that they were of the same substance. But he used the same term that was used by Athanasius, but the way that he used it as one substance was that the Father and Son were one person, but they were operating under different modes. That so the Father and the Son was operating as a human while he was on Earth, and now he's operating as the on the right hand of God.
Yeah, I think the error there is that he's trying to make a dichotomy there, and see, I think how I would resolve that is he's simultaneously both at the same time. He's in his divinity outside the incarnation. He is, the Father, but he himself when he's incarnated would be the Son in the human. In this human mode, it's hard. Some of these words get very technical and stuff, but I'll say mode for right now. But that's how I would address that.
Right, like the hypostatic union, right?
Similar, but it's a little bit different because we don't say that there's two different people living inside one person. We just say,
yeah, but you say that he's all God and all human, though, right?
No, we're saying he's all human and he has a divine nature outside the incarnation.
Can I ask a question? Define divine.
And
if you say God,
a very good question.
Yeah.
I'll say we're aseity. I'll say he
everybody knows divine, and when everybody thinks divine, they think God. They don't go into the definition of divine.
Right. Or angels. I think that divine just means something that is but
if you bring angels into it, Jim, you're going to bring a hierarchy into it. Is Jesus more or less defined than?
Yeah, and
God.
that's what they were arguing. There was that even though they're all the same substance, the whole
Jim, I know you like to talk. Hold on a minute. Have you ever walked outside of YouTube and done this? I know you're a pastor and all that there, but you see this people in the street. I don't mean to come across as rude. I'm sorry if I'm coming across as rude, but my channel.
no.
People in the street, they don't go into these sort of details. You're like to be honest, I want this channel so I can have.
Well, they should.
No, I know, but they don't. Okay, I want it. There's praise in the top corner, all above you. You're below praise. I'm above God. Man, that's the way we'll fucking put
I
it.
enjoyed this conversation because I know Jim's
Well,
very.
I won't say that they all
But the
do it, I
reason,
think it's
the
important.
reason, let me say, the reason that I want to have these conversations is because praise knows all the stuff that you're talking about. You've just made that evident. The man knows the stuff. You know your stuff, right? But if I can get to the point and have a general conversation without, excuse me, all the big fancy words and stuff and going into the, like, if I can have that conversation with him, then I can anticipate the responses. And that's from an educated background. And that will make me better at having the conversation with a person who has an uneducated background.
Very good point. Great point.
And that, so, and not to be rude, but this last 5-10 minutes, in what's going on here, probably 2 people in the chat, me and you 2. That's all that's been understanding it. Now, I'm not being rude or I don't want to come across.
No, yeah, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh no, Jim, I wouldn't have fucking invited you on, and like I could have shut you up at any time. There's a minus button here. Don't forget that. Like I'm God here. All right, as the guy in the Matrix said. What is it? In this world, I am God. Is that the quote from the train driver? In the Matrix?
No, I believe you. I'm on board with that. You just got to get the mustache on board with it.
Oh man, it's all about the beard. My mustache keeps getting any bigger, and every time I drink something, I end up rolling down the side of my cheeks, spilling on the floor. I have to make that noise and sip it off, and it ruins all my streams. It's no good. Yeah, mustache need no. But the point I'm trying to say is the people in the chat, I want to be able to interact with them. The people here, like God below, the man who created everything.
Going outside their framework on that.
Yeah, the big words, all right, which I have an understanding of, but fucking hate using. And as you understand praise, you got mixed up in the modalism and stuff like that there. They're hard terms to understand. And
well, I just want to point out in the last 2 minutes, though, nothing's been said. So I just want to point that out.
That's fine, because I'm getting to know praise and I'm getting to know who he is. And I'm explaining where my point is coming from. So next time that we all have the conversation, I'll not have to do this. You'll not go off on a tangent, and we'll all flow and have a better one next time, which I do hope encourages. So yeah, fuck you, Jim. I'll put my point across.
Fair enough.
Mother lover, I was going to say mother lover. Fucking brother from another mother, because we are both maybe technically related. We have to do a genetic test, but there is a possibility. No joke.
Well, I've already sent you my DNA sample. I don't know what you did with it.
Well, yeah, it was very hard by the time it got here. And, I had to pay for some money to get it through the bio at customs. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, got you.
Did we just say that live?
I just want to say that there's people in your chat using words like ecumenical. Can you knock that off, please?
Nerdy's doing that as a joke. He doesn't actually know what they mean. He's been looking them up on Google and adding things to the end of them.
Yeah, I have no idea what ecumenical means. I'm totally clueless there.
Yeah. It's the same as epistemology. I asked Lucy what epistemology was, and I wrote it down. And we're not picking Lucy because there's a lot of love for Lucy. Lucy's YouTube famous. Not right, God?
Proper YouTube famous.
About what epistemology means.
Pardon?
I'm going to have to think about what epistemology means.
Well, is there anything, praise, that while you're here, just before you go, because I know you'll be going soon, that you want to ask God and God vice versa? Because that could be quite interesting. If you could ask God any question, like give me a joke question and then give me a serious question. But if you could ask God any question, he's here now. One joke, one serious. Can I ask you what the fuck? Oh, we're shuffling. There we go.
Oh, what happened there?
StreamYards does that when you keep it going for over an hour and a half. Every now and again it does a shuffle. Who's below me?
Me.
You've all lost your faces now.
Well, if you jump out and jump back in, you'll get your faces. I'll kick you out and then bring you back in, and I think that should bring your faces back. No, it didn't. So, well, we're stuck with Praise. Is that you below me?
It's like
No,
Saw
that's-
now.
Oh,
No, that's me.
Jim's below me. Right. Praise. God, literally just as I asked, what would you like to ask God? StreamYard's put him above you. So one joke question and one serious question.
Okay, my joke question is, where are you going to be for Halloween?
Don't do it. I don't do it, right? There'll be a Halloween party at the local pub. I'm fairly embarrassed by adults dressing up, so I'm not going.
I'm living vicariously through my daughter, and she's got ginger hair, and I have a big forehead, and we're dressing her up as Pennywise the clown. And like, we didn't order a suit, we've ordered little bits and bobs, and we made the pom poms ourselves and stuff. She's gonna look fucking class. Got a red balloon on a string and everything.
No, that's frightening.
So
Yeah,
excited.
we usually, like, loads of people come to, because where we live, we're really close to a school area, so there's loads of families live around us, and just like hundreds and hundreds of kids come to our house. So we just buy loads and loads of sweets now, and just put them in a jar and open door. But I get so bored of it, I just end up putting a bowl of sweets out in garden, so I don't have to answer the door anymore.
Can I ask a question? Is it cruel that I don't eat that many sweets and stuff and all that, and I get loads of them give to you for Christmas, and I always just take one box, put it on top of the cupboards in the kitchen, and I've broke it out to give back to the kids at Halloween because I don't eat it.
No, I think that's probably right. I think what you should do rather than give them sweets, because obviously now we understand that loads and loads of sweets are bad for anybody. You should give them like an envelope with some good advice in it.
And what would you write in it? Come on, give it really quick. You say what you'd write in it, then he can ask his serious question because I ain't forgot
Okay.
this.
I got a really good serious question too.
Right, so tell your story about your note. What advice are you going to give to little kids? And then he'll ask a serious religious question. This is going to go really
Okay.
well.
So if I knew the mums, I'd give them like personal advice. But if I didn't, I'd put random stuff in it
What
like.
the fuck's their mothers got to do with it? Stop perving other mothers. What advice are you giving to the kids?
All right, I'd say stuff like don't grow up like your mum, and don't do drugs, and stuff like that. It's like serious, proper advice. Don't eat these sweets that you collected tonight. Give them to charity, because people in other countries don't have sweets.
Well, that is good advice. If it came out the
Yeah, I
wrong
like
way, that is good advice.
Bin these sweets, else you'll turn out fat like your mum.
Well, the truth of it is, man, I don't know about it's like in America still, but I don't know about or England, but it's kids don't really knock the doors anymore. They don't come around trick or treating. Halloween was massive in my age. I went out and did the trick or treating thing as long as I can remember. And then when you get older, you go out and let off fireworks at the police, and brilliant.
Yeah.
fun.
They still do it here. It's just that safety's become more of an issue. So they limit the hours, or most places will do like a trunk or treat where cars will line up in a parking lot and the kids go through. And it's like Halloween seems to be more centered around events now than it is, just hustling door to door like it used to be.
Hold on. So they actually have a row of cars with people sitting in them, and the kids just go from window to window asking for sweets.
Well, not window to window, but trunk to trunk. They have their trunks
Trunk
open with
to
candy in it, and they call it a trunk or treat.
That is fucked up, and if it's a boot full of sweets, that's even more fucked up. And the fact that it's
I agree. I
So
think
it's
that we
less
should
walking.
go house to house and then go back 2 hours later and toilet paper those same houses.
yeah,
I think you should go house to house, and your parents should be going with you.
Yeah,
Don't
we
send
do
your
that.
kids out going house to house on their own. That's nuts.
Oh no, I don't send my kids on their own. We actually just ran out of Halloween candy, so it's about time.
No, I'm not going to actually be there this year because it falls on fucking Thursday, and I have been whinging at my woman since Saturday about how to take a picture. She cannot take a picture, and we spent all this time making this fucking suit, and I can't be there now because I fucking work on Friday morning, and as I say, she lives so far away. If she does not take a good picture, I've even told her where the lights to have on in the hall and everything. See if she fucking ruins the picture of the child in the Pennywise suit. This shit only happens once, like.
Well, if the costume's good enough, then other people will take the picture.
Oh, my woman can't take a picture to save her fucking life, man. It's like off center.
No, that's what I'm saying. If the costume's good enough, other people will take the picture for you.
Oh no, because they only trick or treat her street, so it's like 8 houses up, walk across,
Oh,
8 houses
gotcha.
down.
Oh,
and then
we
walk
should
down.
let Praise ask this question.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Praise. Serious question. Halloween. We did a Halloween tangent.
This is a pretty serious question. So, like, what's the most you ever drank?
Oh,
I once,
It's on video,
all
probably.
honesty, right? I went to Tenerife when I was maybe 19, and you know, like when you go abroad and you can pay an amount of money to go to a place and party and drink as much as you like.
Oh yeah, all inclusive.
So I paid £17 or equivalent of £17 to go to this, like, I don't even know what it was. It was like a restaurant in the middle of nowhere, and there was a band on, and you could drink as much San Miguel as you could possibly drink, or sangria. And so I did. So me and my mate drank as much as we possibly could. Didn't eat anything because eating takes up room of sangria. So came back on bus. I remember coming back on coach and getting everybody to sing like Yorkshire songs like Ilkley Moor by Tat and stuff. And then they had I was all right then. And then they had a raffle, and I won a jug of sangria bigger than my body, like arms around it, sort of thing. And
you're in the Philippines, weren't you?
Sorry?
Was this the Philippines by any chance?
No, it was in Tenerife, which is an island off Spain.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I had a similar experience in Philippines, which is why I was asking.
Oh, it went so bad. We started drinking the big jug of sangria. Then we took it into a bar, and the guys in the bar said, "You can't drink that in here." And I said, "What about if every time we drink some, we pay you some money. You don't have to serve drinks, and then you can sell it to your customers." And they went, "Yeah, okay." So we drank the big jug of sangria, and then for some reason I thought it was a shortcut to walk home on the beach, and then my legs just stopped working, and I couldn't even, I was facing in the sand, and I couldn't breathe, but my body stopped moving, and my mate had to carry me home. And then when I got home, or to my apartment, I was sick everywhere, and I was on holiday with my girlfriend, but she didn't go on this trip, and she was cleaning my sick up in the bathroom and squirting me with the shower head, and it smelled so bad. She had my underpants that for some reason I'd taken off, and she had them over her face while she was being sick.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here
my
and
gosh.
say that you're probably not the real God.
I am. No other God wouldn't have survived that. Not a week. I woke up next day and went and got totally wankered at Bar Down Road. He'd have stayed in bed.
She wouldn't have wanted to talk to you.
Damn, that's a lot.
Oh, I've had drinking sessions.
What about you, Math? I know you could drink some down. I know that.
Me? Oh.
Yeah.
I have a top 3, man. I don't have one. I have like a top 3. What level do you want to go to? Like, oh, the funniest one is, well, the funniest, not funniest. My biological father would be in the Territorial Army. People would call it the part-time army, but it was necessary at the time over here and stuff. But he went to and did 6 months in Iraq, 6 months in Afghanistan, and then had to do another 6 months in Iraq.
It's like the reserves here.
Yeah, something similar, man. Yeah, and I can't remember which one it was because they were all big drinking sessions. But you know, like 2 days, 3 days before they head away, the family goes up and we have a big meal. There's a bit of entertainment and stuff. And it's not that the bar's open; it's that the bar doesn't pay tax. So like, you go with 30 quid, you don't remember 24 hours, and you come home with fucking probably £24. Yeah. My dad was warrant officer, so he was quite high up in the place, and like there was a 50th birthday party. Jesus Christ, we're not even talking about that one too, man. Like it's lots of drinking, and I remember asking for the day off work because my dad's leaving to fucking go to Afghanistan, like, you know, or whatever it was. I need the day off work. And the fucking bastards wouldn't give it to me because it was short notice, right? So I was like, right, well, I'll come to work, but, you know, on your own fucking head be it. Like, I work in a place with cars, man. I have to drive cars. Not much, but in and out of bays and stuff, like, and interact with the fucking public. Oh, you're not allowed to go out. And I was like, I'm fucking going out. So I went out and convinced my mate to lift me because he was working nights and he finished at 4:30. So he lifted me and took me home. And the girlfriend, I went into bed and I was stone drunk, woke her up. She gave me a load of dog's abuse for waking her up. So I went out into the living room and sat down and rolled a smoke and didn't want to smoke in the living room. So I walked out the front of the house, and I lived in an estate at the time, and the houses were all exactly the fucking same, man, right? Exactly the fucking same. And the next door neighbour was an old man that let his dog sleep in the front hall and never closed the door, so the front door. So the hall door, like, there's a wee tiny living room hall, maybe 2 foot square, or 4 foot square, sorry. And the dog sleeps there and he leaves the front door open. But the dog must have been having a walk. So I walked out of my house, walked into his house, didn't want to go and annoy the girlfriend again, so stripped naked and lay down on the sofa, set me alarms and went to sleep. And it wasn't my fucking house. And when I woke up at 6:30 in the morning with 32 missed calls and 64 messages and walked out the front door, half fucking naked with the clothes in my hand, realising that it was in the wrong house, met my ma and met the fucking girlfriend looking for me up and down the fucking roads, because there's a main from where I used to live, like 500 yards, not even that, 400 yards, you walk straight out of the house, you're on a main road and you can get fucking wiped out, and the lorries be driving at that time of night when there's less people on the road. So the girlfriend rang the ma, she only lives around the corner, so they're all looking for me. I ended up getting dragged into bed, got an hour's sleep, drove to fucking work, which was only 10 minutes away, got a bollocking for the ones at work, fell in through a window when I went to talk to one of the fucking boys driving a car out, so then I get sent home. And that's probably, maybe top 2. There's one worse than that where I wrecked a car, but one...
All right, guys, I got to head out. It was a pleasure talking with y'all. You, Jim, you, Math, and God. There's like, or other God.
Yeah, brother, have a good one.
God, the good one. Again, Praise, thank you very much for jumping in. And if you're ever in the chat, man, hopefully you'll have subscribed. And if you're ever in the chat when we're having an after party, you're more than welcome in. Thursdays,
Appreciate it.
Thursdays, I do a thing with Richard where he tries to... David and Goliath is a story where Jupiter becomes a second son and God's an alien. And
yeah, that'd be interesting. I think Richard's trying to give me another time again. I'm probably gonna have on his show again soon, so we'll see.
Yeah. So jump on. I like having specialized guests in certain subjects and stuff. So if you've something that you can disagree with and back up, you know, I had Jim on last week, and I'm hoping to have Brak on soon. If you've heard of Brak.
No.
Brak is an ex-Jew that reads old Hebrew and stuff and has done from a long time.
This goes by Esoteric Jellyfish.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I like getting into some of the Hebrew, Greek stuff, so I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, what do you call it? Dr. Josh gives him more credit for knowing than what he knows. And I would, you know, everybody has their own views, and Dr. Josh, I know the Jews have had interactions, but yeah, he's well schooled and he gives Brak a bit of credit. So
cool, man. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Well, thank you very much for coming on again, man. Lots of love. His links should still be in the description if I've done it right. And yeah, we've got one slot left and soon to have another one if anyone wants to jump in. Praise. See you later, my man.
Likewise, man. See you guys later.
Later, man.
See you, Praise.
So we've 2 slots if anyone wants to jump in. Oh, Watchtower made it in and Miss Sassy's here. Watchtower actually lives in like Australia, so he's 9 hours behind me. So I don't know.
Oh, wow. Hey, Watchtower.
Yeah, starting a new ex-Jehovah Witness channel. So, Sammy Jenkins, the link is in the Pigsty General Chat. Yeah, God, you need to get on to Discord. We could have some fun late-night conversations on Discord, man. All this shit does be going on late at night, you know?
I'll try to use small words.
Oh, no, don't keep fucking making a cunt out of us all.
Okay, MathPig, I'm going to have to get off because I've got work in the morning.
So do I, but this, yeah, things.
God work.
God work. Right, well, good luck with making the new evolutionary thing on the next evolutionary stage. You fucked up with the platypus, but I love ants and bees.
It's okay. I'm going to make another planet tomorrow, but I'm not going to tell humans about it. It'll be brilliant.
Ah, let me know where that is, man, so I can tell my daughter. So then later on, when she figures out quantum gravity, she can use that and get the Nobel Prize.
Yeah. I'll pass it on quietly in a backstage Twitter message.
Well, and while you're here, I don't want to ask for too much, but if you could just talk to all of the Christians and just help them get it sorted out, what's right amongst themselves, that'd be great.
I think if honestly, I think in 2019, if you're still reading the Bible and following them old stories, I think there's no hope for you. I'm not going to be telling them anything. There's better people than that to talk to, so we're going to pass on all good stuff to normal people.
What you're saying is you're about to release a part 2?
I've already wrote the book 2. It's brilliant.
Part
He's
3,
been
actually.
talking about it for a while. Like, I'll take the version 2 over a God mask. I'm still waiting on my God mask. Do I have to fucking pretend to steal a teddy bear too to get a fucking God mask?
But honestly, the Bible 2 is going to be brilliant, and you'll get your God mask. Bible 2's got pictures in it. It's even that we've moved on.
Can you do a scratch and sniff page?
Is it a pop-up?
I can't do a scratch.
I just want a pop-up.
Right? Oh, pop-up. That would be too expensive. It's going to be expensive to do anyway. So, but maybe I'll draw a diagram of how you can make a pop-up yourself.
Oh, I definitely have to do a scratch and sniff, man. Please, this is.
I mean, a scratch and sniff book can't cost more than becoming a burning bush.
Burning bush never happened. Just so everybody knows, made up
he was
story.
Tripping out. He was tripping
If you ever had to buy the creams that it takes to treat a burning bush, then you wouldn't do that.
No, but the thing with the burning bush was, right, I started reading, the guy who did ghostwriting Bible for me, started reading it like, this is shit. You'll have to make some good stuff up. So then he came up with an idea. He said, what about a magical burning bush that can talk? Or like, that's the stuff. Put that in.
I like, whenever Praise and I asked him to ask you a serious question, I was going to ask you a serious question too. Like, are you ready for it? Like,
yeah.
Why did you harden the Pharaoh's heart? That was awful nasty of you.
Why did I what?
Harden the Pharaoh's heart. When Moses was trying to save the Jews, why did you harden the Pharaoh's heart?
Because, right, me and Moses play football on a Monday night, and when he has a good game,
just for Lucy, we don't know Moses. We don't know Moses.
No, I have to make him feel bad. So he'd had a particularly good game, and I thought, I'm not having that. I'll be talking about it all week. So I gave him a bit of a travesty to deal with.
Right. That it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you clarifying that 2,000-year-old mystery before you went to bed.
You know what nobody's ever asked before? No one's ever said to me, why did you kill everybody on the planet apart from Noah's family, but then you were stupid enough to let Noah's family's mate sneak on board who weren't as pure as them? Well, no one's ever asked me. But I'll tell you.
Is that the story or the movie?
It never happened. No, I didn't kill everybody on planet and let Noah's family survived. Noah killed them all.
Noah killed them all.
Yeah. Left his son's chick, like, because he'd been ramming her as well.
Because he didn't live on the ark?
What's that?
Are you obsessed with foreskins, or did the guy write that into the Bible as well?
Not my book. Different book.
Why is it that you only needed 2 of each animal to repopulate the earth, but you needed 3 pairs of humans?
Yeah.
4 pairs.
Again, another thing, right?
Brak has just jumped in. Hi, Brak.
Honestly, you should see how big dinosaurs are, right? That Ken Ham bloke who's built that big ark.
Well, he dinosaurs.
Mental. He's mental.
Who's
He's
mental? Who's mental?
The Ken Ham or whatever he's called, who built the gigantic ark.
Oh man.
Proper raged.
Yeah.
Proper raged.
Do you know
the idea was 2 of every animal. put a couple of diplodocuses on. That were it. We're full. We're like, let's scrap this idea. Let's forget completely all about the drowning situation. We won't do that. It never happened.
Is Stephen Steen not the guy that trolls modern day debate? No, sorry.
I don't know.
He's
Never heard of him.
No, you wouldn't. You God's technical. We all know you're not omnipresent. But God,
I stopped following the atheists because they're all miserable bastards.
Well, that's why I've tried to interject a bit of Irish crack into the thing, you know.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
Definitely.
A bit of down to earthness.
Yeah, exactly. No big words, and let's have a bit of banter.
I've said it before, right? Last time I'll say it, right? If you're an atheist and you're reading the Bible back to front and you know everything about the Bible and you've studied every bit of it, and then you're going on to people who follow God and you're giving them stick about how their Bible's not right, you're backwards. Who wants to read something that they don't believe in? It's like reading Star Wars and then complaining to Spielberg and every other writer about it.
Well, if you already knew it from back in the day, then rereading it now is just to keep yourself fresh, to stand to your point. I can understand that. Jim comes from a very background like that, so he knew it off by heart before he became an atheist.
Yeah, you know. I agree with that.
So that's,
but then if you start from nothing,
that was the very first stream I seen. Spooky Bedher sent me a link, and I went in, and you were walking home drunk, and I jumped in, and that's exactly what you just said was the first thing I heard from you. See, these fucking atheists fucking watching this fucking thing. He's fucking reading the Bible. He's fucking wasting your own time, or something to that effect. That was the first stream I seen of you.
Yeah, because when I first started on YouTube, I was like, I'm going to go and follow all these atheist channels. And then they would just all say they are so intellectually educated on Bible facts. And I'm like, this is really doing my head in. Because really the argument for God or being against God is, that's a ridiculous thing. If you really thought that happened, you're backwards. That's the argument. Finished.
Yeah, there's a lot of you should just accept it. Because me and God would both come from the UK. The fact that it's so easily accepted, you would expect it to be so easily misconstrued, or not misconstrued, debunked. As you said, Jim, if we actually have the deep and meaningful and all that conversation with a person, it would debunk. And they would understand that. But the problem with the man on the street is, if you go at him with modalism and fucking cannibalism and all this here, he'll look at you and go, get away the fuck, wind your neck and stop bothering me. You want to get to know the person, you want to have a game of pool, you want to have a pint with them, and then when they can't get rid of you because they actually think you're cool, then you fucking throw the big words at them.
Eat them alive. Right, I've got to go.
God, nice for having you always, man. See you later.
See you later.
All right, God. Later.
I'm not ignoring you, Sassy. I said hello to you when you come in. Sassy, you want in? You've got the link. You know where to find the link. We've got 3 spots available. Hello, Sammy Jenkins. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Yeah, and I wanted to say to God, see, for some of us too, our families and the people directly around us are still deeply entwined in this stuff. So we kind of do need to know about it, if we want to have any sort of effect on the people directly around us. I mean, if my family weren't so indoctrinated, I probably wouldn't care as much.
Yeah.
And like yourself and Jim, I'd read the Bible cover to cover 15 times before I was an atheist. So.
Well, I've read it probably twice. The first time, was very young and just read it because we were in Sunday school and that's what you did and you read along and stuff like that. And then the second time, quite close to before I ended my faith, so to speak, I spent the time and done Bible study and, actually went through it. Now, again, it's a long time ago, and if someone needs be, I'll go and look it up again. It'll probably string a memory there and then, but I can't quote like Jim can quote,
Yeah, no, well, my
Just to say,
15
man,
readings were of a completely tainted book as well. So, um, not even close to the original Bible.
I think Bibles are a beautiful book. And out of all the books I've ever bought or ever owned, some of the Bibles I've owned are the most beautiful visually books that I've ever seen. They put, because it's so important to the person. Well, not to, I was going to say the person making it. It's not important to the person making it. He's fucking making it to make a buck because it's capitalism. But he's making that book, and the person will sell it and get a good price for it because they want it. That person making it doesn't care, but the guy who actually booked the guy to make it, that's who cares about it. And they put a lot of effort into it. And the girlfriend's family have a family Bible. And
I just bought a family Bible from 1792. And which for those who know history, that is during George Washington's presidency, but it was by a family named Carr, Carr, who were pioneers who were moving out to the Midwest, and has all of his family's birth dates, their death dates in it, and very, very beautiful handwriting.
See, that's
Wow.
See, that's the thing, man, right? My woman's father, back in the late 80s, our Bible door-to-door salesman came, and I think they paid £89.99 or £90 or whatever the fuck it was. But that was the 80s, so it's maybe 150 quid worth, whatever it was. And he bought it purely on the fact that it was beautiful, had a flick through it. It's possibly 12 inches tall, 30 centimeters, a foot, whatever way you want to look at it. And after he bought it and he took it home and had a look at it deep and properly, it's a King James version, which is a Protestant Bible in their Catholic family. So they have not filled anything out in it. And I'll send you, I have a Google Drive specifically set up. I sat down and took pictures of it, man. The pages are beautiful, just the way they feel, that they have a whole family section, they have a whole military section as well, which is really good. My woman's not into the military, but as I said earlier, with my dad being in the TA, I would have no problem with the daughter going to the military. In fact, I would maybe give her a wee nudge, because you want an education, they pay for all your education. Go and join them for 3 years. Save all the money that they pay you, because they pay more than a teacher fucking gets. They don't take any, you're not needing any of your money, you're on base. All your food's paid for, your rent's paid for. They pay for your education. Go do your 3 to 5 years. Get a bit of discipline, get a kick up the arse, clean your room, and then when you come out, you're debt free. You've been saved. You've maybe 50 grand in fucking savings because you haven't used any of it. Financially it's a good idea, but
can I, if I can share my screen, I can show it to you real quick.
Go for it, man. Let's all see what you've got. No, just share your screen.
Okay, can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, that's
okay. This is the cover of it. This is the inside of it. You can see the date right down there at the bottom.
I think the screen sharing is slowing down. He doesn't have a great computer. I think it's killing him.
Okay. But just look at this handwriting though, real quick.
Yeah, that is a beautiful old American style handwriting. I seen that in
the
movie one time. What was
the
that
guy's name
movie with
was
Nicolas Cage?
Elijah Carr. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, I'll stop sharing now. It seems like it's slowing things down.
Yeah, he DM'd me whenever he cut out earlier. I just noticed it because I was having a look. There we go. How's
Sorry
that?
about that.
Are you back?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, it's the internet connection. Or
your
computer. It's probably his
That's
computer.
I can hear him now.
Actually, I received a phone call, so that might have been my fault.
Okay.
Well, you're back anyway, so you're here now.
I'm back.
Okay, I just want to clarify. Brak just sent me a message. He is not ex-Jew. I got that wrong, and if it sounds wrong, he is Orthodox. Just to confirm.
Who?
Brak. I don't want to misrepresent, and I was wrong earlier. So Brak is Orthodox.
Yes, he is.
Well, thank you. Could have fucking said when I said it wrong earlier and corrected me there and then, so I didn't look like a fool. But thanks, Jim.
Oh, I didn't hear you say anything earlier. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe you weren't paying attention. I talk an awful lot of shit.
Well, that's most likely it, but I'm also blaming it on some green stuff too.
I have no. Well, the Buckfast bottle's green. The after party always does include beer or drink or wine or whatever you want to call it, and I encourage it. Poor Sammy can't. What is it for you, man? Like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning?
No, a little later than that. It's 11.
11. We just had daylight
Yeah.
savings. Our clocks went back.
Daylight savings, of course. Yeah.
Stupid.
It's
daylight savings.
7:20 p.m. here.
Oh, so it's too early for him
Well-
and too early for you. Yeah.
Oh, let's see, and so it's about 1 o'clock in the morning for you, MathPig, ain't it?
Yes, 20 past 12.
Jeez.
But I don't.
Too early for a drink, maybe, but it's 4:20 somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
Yes,
It
indeed.
is exactly 4:20 somewhere in the world. Yeah.
I used to have a broken clock just for that purpose.
You
Yeah.
have a world clock to alert you every time it went 4:20 somewhere in the world.
And actually, it's funny watching your streams, MathPig. You can hear at a point in each stream
I know.
the bowl slide over, the scissors come out. You hear snip, snip, snip.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No,
That very well may be me. I'm just gonna say.
you're just doing art and craft, aren't you?
No, man. If you're gonna do it, you do it right. I've got like a wee. I went to Amsterdam. Well, I go to Amsterdam at least once a year. I love Amsterdam. Purely, the people in Amsterdam are nearly as nice as the Irish. They really are. I've met and had some fantastic stories and some crazy. I've been to Amsterdam maybe 14 times. It's so cheap. I got me and my woman return flights for £150 fucking pound at the start of the year in March. It's so cheap because we're
Wow.
so close. And including the hotel, which was 4-star, because you just go a little outside town and you get a tram pass, for the time you're there. You just walk out and get a tram, takes you into the town, doesn't cost you anything. And £400 got me and my woman there and back with a 4-star hotel, and I lied my balls off and convinced them that it was the fucking anniversary. They then give us a free day pass for the spa, which my woman didn't fucking use because when she found out it was a naked sauna and a naked steam room, she refused to go down. So all my bullshit gone to waste. But the place is a built-in, swimming pool and stuff and all. No, real nice hotel. But yeah, I don't know where.
Damn, that is cheap.
I went to the anime section in Amsterdam, and I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan and bought a Dragon Ball Z pencil case. So it's just big enough for my grinder, my scissors, my packet of fags, and a packet of skins. Yeah, if you're gonna
That's
do
interesting.
it right. Well,
They have an anime museum in Amsterdam.
anime section, like a wee mini village, just off from the Chinese
Okay.
section. There's a wee anime shop and a couple of wee anime places.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like a big city. It's not like New York that has Chinatown. It has China Street with an offshoot of Anime Street that's like half a street.
Wow. And is it true they don't like the tourists smoking over there?
Well,
Or is
you
that
see,
just
the rules come in that the tourists weren't supposed to be allowed in and all this here, but with everything, man, there's always loopholes. Like, you're not actually allowed to smoke tobacco with your joints in Amsterdam now. But the way it's actually worked out as, when you walk into a coffee shop, they will allow you to roll the joint with tobacco, provided you put the tobacco back in your bag. So if anybody walks in, it's always in your bag. So
Right.
if there quite recently, I say in March, we were in Amsterdam, and the guy across from us from America, he must have just been over, didn't know, he was leaving the fags and the butts all on the table, So
Yeah.
the bartender or the guy or the coffee shop came down and says, put that in your bag, cleaned up, and just walked on. You don't get shouted at, you don't get annoyed at. They're very relaxed
Yeah.
and good
Interesting. Yeah. Here in Australia, we've just in one state, which is where Parliament resides, mind you, in Canberra. They've just legalized having, I think it's 4 plants per person. And I think being allowed to carry up to half an ounce for an adult and a full ounce if you're under
Yeah,
age.
you guys got
18.
medical back in 16, though, right?
Yeah, sort of. One state brought it in sort of in emergency laws, but they made it so hard to get.
You still there? Have we lost him again?
I think his connection's bad.
Yeah. It's because Australia doesn't exist.
It must have something to do with Polaris, you know.
Matt, did you ever watch that video of mine that was hashtag bored? I just made because it was bored. It was Dell, the Glaswegian flat earther. It was quite fun.
I'm not sure. When was that?
It was ages ago, man. It was absolutely ages ago. Here, just as a side note, wee bit of a shill from my own channel. Do you know Atheist Age, Jim?
Yeah. Me and Jim Hall are really good friends.
Right. Well, have you been watching their channel? Did you see what I did the other night after the Richard and Jim chat?
Oh no, I didn't.
Oh, right. Well, I don't have it posted on my channel, and I actually made it so they can. I'd say I would have rights to do this. Hold on, we'll see if this works. You'll love it, Jim. It's right up your street, man. It's totally up your street. I took their chat and they finished, having the actual chat, and then we're back and forth, talking stuff. And they were talking about both being in the army. And they were talking about munitions and stuff like that. And hold on, is this actually working? I should be screen. No. I've messed this up, haven't I? Screen share and do that. No. Do this one. And then swing that back across in a second. Right, I know what I'm doing now. Okay, Atheist Age, this.
It's a dual penetrate. I saw it live. Yes, it goes through the skin of the double penetration.
I can't hear it.
Right. And I actually saw it with my own eyes. They put.
You should be able to hear it now.
They put a live goat inside. They recorded. It's a
not really.
Penetrate. I saw it live. Yes, it goes through the skin of the double penetration. Right. And I actually saw it with my own eyes. They put a live goat inside. They recorded it. And we saw it, and we went out there and saw the pieces of the goat later. Right. But then we saw the hole that it all came out of.
I had a friend that was in Germany for a little bit less than a 3-inch hole. Sucked 5 pigs and 10 chickens through that hole.
And the hole's, 9 inches?
That's considerably small.
That's insane. And what comes out of that? Pieces of chair, electronics, computers.
Yeah, exactly.
You get the point, Jim. You get the point. Go and watch it. Give them a view. It's quite funny. He says...
Yeah. I'll check it out. I was catching like every other word, but yeah, I'll check it out.
And remove that from... Oh, no, I removed Jim. Hello, Jim. Welcome back. Is this working again?
Hello.
Yay! I have no idea if that worked or if anybody heard it or if anybody's seen it. I hope it did.
I heard bits and pieces.
Well, yeah. I think that the audience might have heard it because I've got to pick up desktop audio over StreamYard's audio. I still need I still need to have a chat with you about the whole OBS thing, man, and the premieres, and I'm getting there. I'm
happy to help.
Sorry, excuse me. Oh, Sammy's back. I wonder if he's here to stay. Hello, Sammy.
Yep, I'm back. I don't know how long I was telling that story for before I realised I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. It's awful. I did that earlier. You have to always remember to hit the unmute button.
Yeah, I think I dropped out completely.
Yeah, no, you vanished. You went silent for at least, Jim? 2 minutes, and then you just went boop.
So I was telling a story. It wasn't interesting anyway, so...
Yeah, you built it up too much now, so nobody wants to hear it anyway, because when you actually tell it...
I was actually interested, and then you just kind of cut off.
Yeah. Oh, long story short, they've legalized recreational marijuana where the pollies are in Canberra, but that's it.
Oh, then, no, but not the capital city.
Well, that is kind of our capital.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, what
Yeah.
about like the areas around it? Like, or is it just like just the city?
Well, the thing with Canberra is it is just a city, and it's within a state, but it is its own state. So it's a state within a state.
Oh,
I
like
see.
that fucking place in Spain. What do you call it?
So is it got sovereignty or?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because it's our capital.
Okay, so it's
So it's
completely
in-
different jurisdiction. It's like Washington D.C.
Exactly. It's within New South Wales.
See, and I find that interesting that the both in the U.S. and in Australia, the capitals, like Washington D.C., like these main jurisdiction areas where we get our laws from, legalize it recreationally and medically, but they won't do it anywhere else. It seems kind of ironic.
Yeah, well, to me, it's almost like a fuck you to the rest of the country.
Right? It's hypocritical as fuck. It's like, I can just imagine all the policy makers and congressmen getting off of their break and going and smoking the joint and just looking at other people being like, yeah, weed's bad. You shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. Weed causes mental illness.
No, we all had. It'll eventually end up worldwide, and we all know the history behind it. Anyone who smokes properly knows the history about why it's not here, and knows why it will eventually end up like that. And I think the UK is one of the biggest producers of medical marijuana for study in the world, and it's not legal here. But they have a giant secret warehouse somewhere in England where they grow a fuck ton of it, and then sell it to different countries for tests.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just side chatting here to Brak, giving him a wee hand with. He's maybe trying to get in, and he has a Mac, so he didn't have Chrome. With Stream, it seems you must have Chrome. I didn't know that because I have Chrome.
I think Stephen Steen once in. He seems to have an awful lot to say.
Stephen Steen will probably put a penis on my screen, so we'll not do that.
Well, he should just make it like he's got something to say, though. I don't know.
I know, but he's always got a lot to say. I think if I'm thinking of the right person, he's in modern day debates chat, and James has called him out as the guy who trolls him. So, the only troll I trust is me and Doorknob Head. That's about it.
Oh, I trust Stephen Steen with my life, but that's not saying much.
Well, then let's go to your channel and get a penis put on it. We'll be up for that, like.
Well, you don't have to have Stephen Steen on my channel to get a penis put on it. I'm just saying.
I'm just glad that your moniker isn't working. You put them pants back on.
They're trousers.
Trousers. I say pants because I deal with more of you fucking Americans online than I do, and I've got into the habit of saying no pants stream.
Yeah, I know. I just like being contrary. I say no pants too.
Yeah, well, no pants to me means absolutely dick hanging out, so I'm happy with that too. Like, although I have a pair of jeans on right now.
Well, you should wear underwear.
I have that too. Don't get kinky.
Oh, I have this stuff. It's called Fresh Balls, and you put it on. It's like a lotion, and it turns to a powder, and it's the most glorious thing ever.
Have you ever seen the non-stamp collectors video high stakes poker between the devil and God?
No.
You should definitely go and watch that because God has
What
the whole.
is it called?
It's a non-stamp collector. He hasn't posted a video in a while, but I found him before I found Aaron Ra. He's just cartoons, atheism and stuff. Very good man. Very funny.
I'll check him out.
Non-stamp collector, and it's high-stake poker between the devil and God. And God
I've written down a poker game between God and the devil.
Yeah. God has the whole original making love and sex as a sign of love and coming together, and man makes one sperm per month just like the woman, and then the devil comes in and high stakes poker him and gets it to from one 1,000 sperm a day to 1,000,000 sperm a day to 1,000,000,000 sperm a day, and he's like, but his balls will run too hot. I'm gonna have to put it outside the body. And he's like, yeah, if I win this round, you have to put it in a big hairy bag made of chicken skin. It's very funny. You should watch it. It's very funny.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look that up.
Give it right. You two talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna give a wee quick lesson in StreamYards. So back in a second.
Sounds good. Okay, so what do you believe, and why do you believe it?
I believe science because it has offered me lots and lots of evidence.
So since you like science, means that you are willing to change your position given the proper amount of evidence.
Absolutely.
I love to hear that. That's the best thing in the world to hear. I'm not so much against religion as I am against dogmatic thinking. And when somebody says that something is true and will always be true and can never not be true, that I have a problem with.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't really care what people want to believe, as long as they're open to having their mind changed. I often worry that I change my position.
Jesus never existed, and like I just went like completely to the other end, and it was irrational, and it was an emotional reactive response. But yeah. Uh-oh, you're roboting. And I think I'm alone.
No, I'm back.
Okay, I think he's out. He was roboting.
Yeah, he's talked about getting a new computer. It's definitely on the pages. Definitely on the book, so to speak. It's necessary. He has a channel which, if I can find on YouTube on my phone, will give the man a shout out. It's called Watchtower Watchmen. Which
I've actually changed it, MathPig.
again?
No, just the once. I decided that was a little sexist.
Right.
I went watchers. Watchers.
So Watchtower Watchers.
Watchtower Watchers?
Yes.
Do you realize how many conflictions you're going to get with Watchtower Watchmen? The Jimi Hendrix song?
Just
if you're
all along the watchtower.
Yeah, you've came up third on my searches, which is good. You're still third, but then I do search for you.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and you're gonna have to worry about the watchers that are in the book of Enoch.
Yes.
Or were you trying to play off that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
He is an
but see, they're just the watchers. They're not watching Watchtower.
The Watchtower is
no, they're not.
There you go. Links in the chat. Everybody go and search.
Although technically they could be watching them because the watchers watch everybody.
Yes, well, true. And I imagine the Jehovah.
Uh-oh.
I think his computer's been running for too long.
Yeah, a restart seems to be in order.
I think that's maybe what he did whenever he fucking popped out and popped back in again. I think it's just a wee laptop he's running on. Brak did get into the backstage, but his computer crashed, so he's going to restart his computer. And then maybe in the next 2 minutes we'll have Brak.
Well, in about 20 minutes, there's a debate coming on that I have to troll.
Oh, is that modern day?
Maybe.
No, give them a shout out, man. If anyone wants to go and watch James, go and watch how bad he moderates yourself. Don't take our word for it. Go and watch yourself.
Well, I'm rather interested in the argument.
What was it again?
I don't remember the exact topic question, but it's between Vaush and
Vosh is
what's
all
the
right.
other?
That's right. Yes, they were debating that thing.
I don't know what it. Paul
No,
Paul Van.
you do know, man. You just don't want to say it on my stream. That's okay. It's fine.
Well, no,
and
it's
Christian
not
guy
Jordan.
are
Like,
debating.
is Jordan Peterson more
It is.
harmful than he is
There you are. You
good?
went and looked it up. That's okay. No, that's fine, man. Jordan Peterson's a fucking wanker. Now, I'll be honest. When I first seen him, the first night I found and heard of him, I looked his channel up. He had a whole Bible, that series he has on his channel. For a while, I had it linked on a playlist on my own channel. I thought he was very good for all of about 3 months, until you do a wee bit of deeper research and you go and look and you're like, what the fuck, like? And then you catch yourself on, and I ain't no lobster. But it just takes that wee bit of extra looking to see that. He is, for my age group and my sort of generation, not that I'm a fucking incel, man. I've, girlfriend and baby and all, like, but there was a lot that he was saying that was there when I was being raised, So
the things he says about gender and stuff bother me, but oddly enough, that's not even what bothers me the most. What bothers me the most is that he pushes things like climate change denial.
Check.
Brak.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
There is a slight echo. So you might need to mute when you're not talking.
Oh, I have headphones on, so nothing should be coming. Okay, give me a second here. Let me mute for a moment.
Hello.
But I think he comes from a good place and for some things, but I think he's still he's still heavily indoctrinated with some other beliefs. But I fear that he's built his career on these beliefs that he can't, to the point to where he can't abandon them, or he abandons his whole persona.
Yeah, that's I sort of pulled praise in that earlier, because whenever we were talking about certain things, he said that he had to take this stance. And I was like, well, why do you have to take that stance? And he was like, to be consistent. And I was like, right, well, as a person, do you actually believe that? Then we sort of slobbered on in tangent and didn't get back to it. But yeah, if you say one thing, you have to, keep going.
Well, it's like Richard Carrier. If Richard Carrier were to come out tomorrow and say, hey, I'm no longer Jesus mythicist, Jesus actually existed, then he loses 90% of his following right there, because he is known for his Jesus mythicism, and that's about it.
Yeah, I was arguing with Gio earlier, and Gio was trying to pull the confirmation bias with Kent Hovind, and I was like, no, it's not confirmation bias, it's green, it's money, that guy knows. He's been doing that long, he fucking knows.
Yeah, or Kent Hovind's a perfect example. If Kent Hovind tomorrow were to say, evolution's probably true, then that's a career suicide.
Yeah, that's him, no income, no nothing, no fuck all. Do you think you can handle it now, Sammy? And Brak, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, and no echo this time. It's perfect.
Beautiful.
I'm guessing it's you moving. Yeah, that's a nice wee thing you've got going. Nerdy Rodent does that too, where he comes on as a pickle. A dancing pickle. And he's got a piss yellow background and says that he's been in the jar for 20 years and that's why it's piss yellow. It's very funny. Nerdy's a funny guy. And he sounds like he should work for the BBC, like an announcer for the BBC. If he's in the chat, Nerdy Rodent, if you're out and about watching, maybe, I don't know, wink, wink. Yeah, he sounds like a fucking British, should be on the BBC. It's so posh.
Nice.
He's been on some of God's streams. If you seen God was on earlier, have you met God before?
No, I never met that guy before.
You've never met that guy before, no.
Nope.
Well, Brak, just because I fucked up earlier and made a misrepresentation of yourself, could you give a wee intro for everybody, just like 30 seconds, just so we get an idea of where you're coming from and who you are?
So I'm an Orthodox Jew. So you just got the X. Basically, what you said was all good except for the X part. Besides that, it was good.
I, to be honest, assumed that from you knowing Skylar. and the whole Josh situation, which is a bad representation of what I shouldn't have done. And don't do that, people. But I just assumed that.
Yeah, Dr. Josh is a good friend of mine, and yeah, so I have many atheist friends, like as Jim can attest to. So yeah, it's all good. And and as Jim said, I'm the esoteric jellyfish, which should be apparent with my avatar, swimming around here. And I have a YouTube channel called Esoteric Jellyfish.
And he has a Discord.
Oh yes, yeah. Just started a Discord server as well.
If you need any help with that, man, don't be afraid to give me an ask. I know Discord not the bot's not completely inside and out, but I can set you up with a bot that protects your Discord and all that stuff if you need to.
Oh, dude, I would appreciate that massively. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, just you know where to get me.
Yes, I do.
Can you understand me all right? I'm not coming across as an aggressive Irishman or anything, no?
No, you're all good, my friend. You're all good.
Yeah, you have a very clear accent. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from the U.S.
Oh, well, I know.
But my background is from old country, but I live in the U.S. though.
By old country, you mean like? No, I don't know what you mean by old country.
Oh, Europe, Slovakia.
Oh, right. She had the Slovakian heritage. Ah, cool. Yes, now I understand. Old country, Europe. So
yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, it's not a joke that I get.
I guess that is kind of American centric, since you are still in that part of the world. So for you, it's yeah.
The first couple of times I said crack to people, I got fucking weird. Like, what? You like the crack? I'm like, yeah, I love the crack. It's fucking brilliant. Cultural goes down a different way, depending on where you're from. Like, but Brak, I want to just thank you for coming on, and
Oh yeah.
Skylar and Digital might not talk to me for a wee while now because I've got you, and I know they've been trying to grab you. But just so we can get it on video, and I know that I've been drinking. Everybody knows in the Tuesday after parties, I don't care. This is my weekend. But we were talking the other day just to get it in video. Richard, please, this point is poignant to you. The David and the Dude, or Dodd, or whatever it's pronounced. David meaning to boil. Could you please, man, I know I'm using and abusing you and all your tentacles, but could you do a wee minute there of lexicon and all that stuff?
Yeah, so one of the issues with using the Strong's Concordance or in the Strong's Dictionary, because there is, and I don't mean to diss anyone or disrespect anyone whatsoever, by what I'm about to say, but there's a lot of people who don't know the language, and the only access that they have is by using something like the Strong's Concordance and the dictionary. and I commend them for doing that. I mean, anyone that is trying to have a better understanding of the original and such, I applaud them and commend them for that. We definitely don't want any King James only people out there, right? So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, but one of the dangers. Go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say that Brak will probably agree with me that that King James onlyists are only valid if they use the Apocrypha.
I didn't make out what you said, bro. You were like roboting.
Oh, I said that King James onlyists are correct if they still use the Apocrypha.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on that.
Okay, right. Don't do that. No, right. Don't do that. I want to
Let's
get
avoid that can of worms right now
Okay.
for them. Until after the video gets released.
Right. Jim.
Sorry, I used another big word. That's against the law. Sorry.
No. I want to be able to show this back, or either record this audio back to Richard when we do the show on Thursday night, so I can be like, citation Brak. So if I could just let him do his 90 seconds, minute and a half, so I can record it. I don't want to have to go through the editing process of getting rid of you.
Yep.
Sure thing.
Just give the man 2 minutes. I know I'm rude.
Yep, I'll mute.
So like I said, it's commendable that, people are trying to use, whatever resources they have access to and that they're able to operate with. But with using the Strongs, I've seen many, many people over the years misuse and abuse it because they don't really understand what Strong was trying to do when he put this together. and they make a lot of bad assumptions. If you remember the stream with Dr. Josh yesterday, how he was talking that a lot of times in Hebrew, when you have certain forms, that things work or mean things typically, but it doesn't always mean it's going to work and function in that way.
Context.
What was that?
It's always about context.
It's about context. Especially if you're reading Hebrew without the points, where you don't have any vowels, context reigns, because you have words that will be, it's kind of like in English. Josh used the example of run. An example I like to use is the word wind and wind. They're spelled the same, pronounced slightly different, but they have meanings that have no relationship to each other whatsoever. The wind has nothing to do with winding.
Tell them about the major skill text.
Shh. What was that, Jim?
I was just saying, tell them about the major skill text.
So anyway, one error that I see a lot of people using the Strong's do is, in Strong's, it gives a list of all the different ways that the word has been translated in the King James. And it also includes, associated words of qualifiers that are used as well. And they'll see a word that they like. So it's kind of like confirmation bias to an extent. Yeah. And they see a word that they like that may only have been translated that way one time. And they go ahead and impose that every other place where they see it being translated like that. So, for example, I just had an interaction with someone not that long ago where in Leviticus, where you have the prohibition of male homosexuality, the word that's used for male is akar. And this person looked at the word and saw that it was used in some text with circumcision, where it means a male child. So this guy came up with this theory that it wasn't a prohibition of homosexuality, but just pedophilia. And it was like, no, zakar just means male. Full stop. It just means the male. Because you have tons of places in the Bible where the word zakar is being used, and it's talking about people in their 20s, people in their 60s. So obviously these are not little kids, being, referenced and such. So this is one of the dangers, so I'm not saying necessarily that that's what Richard's doing, because I haven't had a chance to, hear his whole thing and everything. But, that would be one thing, like advice, I guess you can say, that I would give to someone who is using the Strong's, that's their only, doorway into the original language, is to be careful and not to try to run with things. And always, look to see, how the scholars are using these words. Don't think that you know better than the scholars. Scholars are not always right. We can make mistakes. We can be wrong about things. But there's more of a chance we're going to be right than we're wrong than someone who hasn't spent their life studying these things. I know they may sound arrogant, but it's kind of like with weightlifting. If you never lifted weights before and you go to the gym, you see some guy who's able to leg press 800 pounds. Is it arrogant for them to say, hey, don't try to lift 800 pounds, you're going to hurt yourself?
Generally, yeah, no, I went to a gym like that where a guy did do the bodybuilding, and actually we called him the Bull. It was called Bull's Gym. And I was there one day, and he was a day before he was doing training. He was training before going and doing the whole tan thing with the pose that Arnie Schwarzenegger did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, he did. That's what he did for a living. Well, obviously the gym as well. But he added fucking 4 inches in diameter to his legs in an hour.
Yeah. Yep.
That's just fucking insane. It's.
Did somebody say Jim?
No, with a G. Brak, I would very much love to organise something like that. Any time that suits you. Richard has the ability to work. He has his own business, I think it is, so he gets to work when and where he needs to. So his times are flexible if he's given 24 hours notice. I will work anytime after 7 p.m. UK, and I would love to facilitate a chat, a 3-way between me, you, and Richard.
Oh yeah, that sounds like fun. He seems like a really, really nice guy. So it'd be enjoyable to interact with them.
The nicest heart you'll ever meet, man. The guy is very genuine, very upfront, tells you his flaws. He'll admit straight up, I know how to cut wood. I think he's a wood chipper or a fucking chainsaw or something. He's very straight up and very genuine guy, and which is one of the reasons why I agreed to have a regular thing with him. The original idea was to read the Book of Enoch, that's series 2. Once we're finished with this whole David and Goliath thing, we're going to read the Book of Enoch. I'm going to laugh at it, and he's going to put his point across.
Nice.
Yeah. Is there a Book of Enoch? Is it more relevant in the Old Hebrew and the Dead Sea Scrolls, or have you read the Book of Enoch?
I'm vaguely familiar with it. A little bit of my background. I'm currently working on my PhD in early Christianity and Judaism, focusing on liturgy. So I've done some work with the fragments from Qumran, and the Book of Enoch is contained within. We do have some fragments with it. So I'm vaguely familiar with it, but I'm nowhere even imaginable anywhere stepping close to being an expert or, knowledgeable about it. So I really feel comfortable, speaking about the book, because that's kind of like outside of the field that I actually, work in.
Well, just to say, man, I am privileged to have your brain on my screen. All right, you may not consider yourself a scholar or anything like that, but I would consider that very well educated and a good background. As with Jim, he has got a very good background and stuff like that. No paperwork, maybe some paperwork, but I don't know he's well educated. I'm just a troll with a brain. I have a wee bit of background in physics and things like that. I went to Queen's University in Belfast for a year, and I was hoping to be an astrophysicist, but life interjected, and there was things I don't really want to get into on stream, but it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out, man. And I still keep up with it. It's still part of who I am, hence the whole moniker MathPig. And science is important to me, being knowing everything, as you say, man. Being educated is... I've learned more since I left school and had the freedom to educate myself than I could have ever learned in school. I've even said, I've considered, me and my woman have talked about this. I'm sorry, I'm halfway down through the bottle of wine, so you can all go fuck yourselves. No, I consider myself, I know everybody enough to say that. Brak, hopefully you can understand. But
you're all good, bro. It's all good, bro. It's all good.
The point I'm trying to make is my wee girl's just about to turn 3 in February coming. By the time she gets to high school, that's a good wee while away. I'm 36 now. I'm aiming to be retired at 50. My family is the most important thing to me in my fucking world. I want to get my house built. I'm hoping to make a wee bit of money on that. That's why we live apart. I've got what started as a shithole of a house I got for maybe 20 grand cheap, and hoping to make an extra 20 in that, which would be enough to buy land, which is enough to move beside my woman. I want to build us a castle. I want to have my action or not, 2 kids, and I just want to spend time with my family. That's
nice, man. That's good.
Talk shit when they go to sleep, and during the day, I just want to spend with my family. My girls is my life,
Aw.
Oh yeah, I can put that in video. I don't care. I'd marry the girl in the morning, but she wouldn't have me. She sleeps 10 hours, I sleep 4. It's she thinks I'm a weirdo for doing this sort of things, But my woman likes me because I'm a good guy. I'm fucked up in many a way, and I live on a very tight schedule, on a very tight budget. But I don't care. It's an after party. Listen to the shite I be talking.
That's all right. My missus can't understand she can't
head out
stand
here, guys. I'm
anything
gonna grab a
religious.
drink.
Sorry, Jim. Just give Sammy 1 wee minute to finish, and then you can say your bit.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. I just said my missus is the same. She can't stand anything religion. Doesn't understand why I find it interesting or why I even give a shit.
Yeah. It's very similar to me. Jim, go on ahead with yours. Jim, just to ask, man, I've never asked this question. I had this. Do you have a wife? Are you single? What's your situation, man? Is it just you and the donkeys?
Just me and the animals.
Just you and the animals. No fucking wonder you had a heart attack, man. Go find yourself
What's
a
that?
woman. No wonder you had a heart attack looking after all them animals on yourself. plus doing this. Go find yourself a fucking woman. Yeah.
No. In Oklahoma, are you nuts?
Oh man, she'll do your laundry for you. That's at least that.
Well, I can do that.
I know I've got a washing machine from 1980 and I refuse to buy a new one because they've got too many buttons. The one I have out there has 4 settings and 2 temperatures. It's great.
Well, yeah. I don't know if you're talking about a woman or an actual machine, but...
No, an actual washing machine, yes.
Okay.
I have a dryer as well, but I'm that fucking tight I won't put the dryer on because the heating comes on for an hour every day. I'll dry in the radiators. I don't need to use the dryer. It costs too much electric. I'm too fucking tight.
Okay, again, are you talking about a woman or an actual machine?
No, again, we're talking about the machine, man, right? We're going to silence you and go back to the educational conversation with Brak. Hello, Brak. Welcome back. Very glad to have you here.
It's good to be here, bro.
But I've got a...
freaking love you, Jim.
I've got a stream to be on, and I'm going to get a drink before then.
Pardon, Jim?
I'll just saying I'm headed out.
Oh, you're gone?
Yeah. There's the debate's coming on, and I gotta go prep.
Oh, right. Well, I usually run 2 hours, and we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. So probably in the next 10-15 minutes, we'll be closing up and jumping over to troll that chat too.
I can stay for another 15 minutes if you're closing up soon.
Yeah. Well, I usually go maybe at minimum 2 hours. Well, the after parties usually run 2 hours because we talk that much shit and that many tangents, and it's probably all my fault. But
well, I can stay or go, whatever. I know you're wanting to record stuff or whatever.
Oh yeah, well it's good to get view time, man, and I don't care about the numbers. I'm over the moon that people even consider coming and fucking listening. Everybody in the chat, like everybody, thanks so much for coming and listening to me. You know.
Well, you had up to 20 at one point, so you're doing pretty well.
Whoop whoop, 20. Yeah, probably stayed for all the 5 minutes and then heard my accent and left. But, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to cry on screen, but I really do appreciate everybody turning up and everybody even giving me your time. It really means an awful lot to me. You know, I say you know.
Absolutely, man.
I say you know too much. I talk with an Irish accent, and fuck me. I don't know. Thanks everybody.
Well, I just want to thank you for the 20 quid. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here.
I thank you for the blow. Oh no, that's a different stream. Sorry. Moving on. No, a lot of love to everybody in the community. There's a few people out there in the chat that know that I love you and know that you love me, and you know, just thanks, just loads and loads for everybody that turns up and just comes here. And Jim, did you see the other day I spent an hour blowing up zombie pigs in a farm? Did you watch that video?
Yeah, I did see that. That's pretty hilarious stuff. I need to find that game.
Oh man, it's only 39p and you can have up to 6 players, and they don't actually increase the amount of zombie pigs depending on how many players you have. So if we had six of it, like I can't get past level 10. All right. Oh no, I passed level 10, but I'm not looking forward to level 11. I'm gonna need a hand. Will you be my wingman and come in and shoot zombie pigs with me?
As long as I don't have to shoot him in the butt, yeah, that's fine.
Oh no. The boss, you have his weak spot is his anal. You have to shoot him in the bum.
Okay.
And you knew that because I mentioned that in the fucking stream about 4 times, and I think it's even in the description. You deliberately made me say that. I know your mind games, all right? I know your mind games, Jim. It's
no, all the love in the world here, man. All the love in the world.
It's under $1, man. It's under $1. You can't.
Yeah. I'll get in play.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to organize that. Right. Well, thanks very much for turning up. Love your stash. Get the fuck out. Do you want to shill your channel before? What's your new Twitter? Give everybody your new Twitter exact spelling before you go.
Oh yeah. So my Twitter got hacked, and I had over 1,000 followers. I'm trying to regain that. My new account.
Yeah, 1,000 followers. We know. What's the new one? Just get on with it.
My new account is at Jim's Stash, JIMSSTACHE. Stash is not spelled STASH. So give me a follow on Twitter, and you can
hang on. Don't
on YouTube at Jim Majors. That's youtube.com/Jim Majors.
Don't tell us how it's not spelled.
I know. I was thinking the same thing because all the people in the chat are going to be writing it down and they heard the wrong spelling. Do you know what that's called, Jim? Brak, will you back me up on this? Would that be a scripture?
Like people. I mean, I had to change my name from Disciple of Kairos because people couldn't spell that. So
I know that's fucking weird though. But you just did a scriptural error, Jim. That's what that's.
Right.
Yeah.
Stash as in mustache, not stash as in you've stashed it.
Mustache without the M.
Oh no, we've talked about it too long. Now everybody's confused. I'll put it in the description tomorrow, okay, peeps? It was in the chat earlier.
Thank you, MathPig.
It's like saying fork, fuck. Oh, look how that changed. It just, yeah. Jim, thanks for coming in. He's gone.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
He's away changing his Twitter account to the proper spelling. Right, Jim. We will see you later. Hope to see you on Thursday, and come in and have a bit of banter. And yeah, I'll see you about Discord, man.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, bro. Remember Sammy Jenkins, Brak. Good seeing you guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Brak, will hit you up in a little bit on Discord.
Yeah. We'll talk after you're done with the stream later tonight. Okay. Good seeing you, bro.
Later, man.
Later.
Thank fuck, he's gone.
Before I kick out, can I do some shameless plugging?
Go for it, man. That's what the channel's about.
Awesome. So this coming Sunday evening at 7 p.m.
Sorry, just before you do that,
Eastern
man,
time.
Before you actually do that, will you jump into the live chat and actually talk? Just say hi, so everybody will have a link to your channel now. While you're talking.
Well, actually, this is my private account that I'm on, as opposed to the account that I actually make videos for.
Will you DM me in Discord where we were talking earlier the link to your channel while you're talking, and I will post it in the chat.
Yes, I don't know if I can multitask like that, but
when
I duck out, I'll go ahead and give you the link.
Yeah, and I'll share it after. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I do apologize.
Oh no, it's all good, bro. It's all good. Yeah, so this Sunday, hopefully at 7 p.m. I'll be premiering a new video called "The Christian Corruption of the Septuagint." So that sounds something interesting.
That's
Please
a cool title.
Check it out.
I love the title, Corruption. Do you need an intro video with some really dark music with like a priest walking up through a dark alleyway? Right? I can do that. I could wing you.
No, I didn't do that vibe on it. Didn't do that vibe.
Oh man, I could wing you one of them up in about 30 minutes. Right. Will you jump out? Because we're going to all jump out. I think we'll all go to modern day debate and we'll all troll. We'll do a pig raid on modern day debate, yeah?
That sounds good.
Oh, were you not
Piggy
here?
raid.
Yeah, you missed that earlier when we went to God's channel and we did a pig raid in God's channel. He was live while we were live, so I got everyone to jump in. We all did a pig raid on God's channel, and then I sent him the link to the after party, and that's why he jumped into the after party.
Nice.
Yeah, send that man some love too. It's good stream. He goes for a lot of coffee to McDonald's, but his approach
He's
to
a
life
very
is,
funny man.
his approach to life is good. Fuck everyone off and worry about the things later. And if you're skinny and think enough to take it, you ain't worth hanging about with me. I appreciate that. If you can't laugh at yourself, yeah. Brak.
Yeah, humor is an important thing. I have just sent you, I was able to quasi-multitask, and I sent you the link over Discord.
Yes, you did indeed. Hold on, there's it there. Copy link. I have seen as soon as you popped on screen, I knew that you'd been on Skylar's show or Digital Hammurabi or something before.
I was on Digital Hammurabi maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months now, something like that. But yeah, I was on his channel not that long ago.
See, I've had this problem, right? And everybody in the live chat, you can all get your excitement and get your, what do you call them, pom-poms that the cheerleaders use, isn't it? Pom-poms?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the account that is attached to this is very close to home. So I created another channel, so I was going to start streaming on that. But then being the channel that does be in the chat, that's the one that gets the subscribers, and that's the one that, builds the numbers up. And as I say, it's quite close to home. So nobody's on the other channel, and the email that I created is attached to the other channel. So I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. So as of the 27th of October, which is 3 days ago, I now own the rights to MathPig.com.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Man, it's 83p a month. Why the fuck would you not? For 83p, for 83p. And my friend builds websites for a business, so he's going to wing me up one. And
Oh, nice.
it means that I can get my own email. You know, and I can take the channel and actually have a channel email and all that there. And
Nice. Nice.
do it right before it gets dear, before it gets expensive. Like, you know, I bet you if you went and looked up nonsequitur.com, it's probably about $300 a year or something like that, you know. But Brak, thanks for shilling. Thanks for turning up, man. Thanks.
Oh, of course, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
You don't sound a damn thing like I thought you would sound. Definitely not.
I'm sorry, say it again.
You don't sound a thing like I thought you would sound. Not that I have a picture in my mind and thought about what you would sound, but your accent, it threw me straight from the get-go. I had no idea where the fuck you were from. No idea. You know, you listen to Sammy Jenkins down here. If you don't know that man's from the fake Australia, something wrong with you. So, we'll kick you out, then Sammy can do his shill, we'll kick him out, and then we'll end it, and we'll go troll modern day debate. Tony, come on.
Sounds
Get
good.
a sock
Have a
account.
good one, guys.
Tony, get a sock account. You know you were thinking about it. Come and troll modern day debate. Thanks, Brak. Thank you. Sammy, do your shill thing.
Thanks, Brak.
Richard.
Watchtower watches. I actually wanted to ask you, MathPig. I found something I thought might be fun for us to have a laugh at.
I'm always up for a game.
Basically, it's the rule book for the Jehovah's Witnesses. They call it their Shepherd the Flock book, so it's only given to elders. So it's supposed to be a secret. The rank and file don't know about this book, which is bizarre considering it's the rules they're meant to follow. But there is some absolutely bizarre shit in it. So that'll be a great laugh.
Well, we could do...
so we can talk about...
Yeah, we'll talk about that, man. You know, we could do a back and forth stream, one channel video, we edit, give your skills a wee bit of a test. Because I know you've been playing with the video editing, you know. Up your game a wee bit. Back and forth. Create drama.
Definitely.
Drama gets views, man, you know. So I'll end with go fuck yourself. I hate all Jehovah's Witnesses. Ah!
Awesome.
I'm only messing.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah. No, ruined the whole stream.
I'm going
to edit the last 3 minutes off now because of that. So, Sammy, thanks very much for coming in, man. I know I talked over pretty much everybody after Jim gave me the chance to do that. And appreciate everybody coming in. I really do. Richard, sorry to say, man, we're just ending. We're going to go and troll modern day debate. Jordan Lee Peterson, yeah. Who's a lobster? Come and find out. Thanks, everybody. And yeah, I'll see you on Thursday. Richard, me and Richard having the Thursday thing, 11 p.m. UK time. I know it's the week of daylight savings, but right now it is 1:10 in the morning. Figure that out. See you all on Thursday. Jim, thanks very much. Peace out. Mic drop.